Hello, loves. We all experience worry as parents, right? It's normal to be worried about our children, worried about their behaviour, or worried about the friend groups that they have, or worried about their health, and a million other things. We worry that we don't, want them to experience some of the painful things that we've experienced. I was working with a woman who was intensely worried that her son was going to turn out like her. And I want to give you really the antidote to that. Not that worry will never come up, but let's really look at it, because we know it doesn't make a difference. Most people know that now. But then what's the solution to that? Because worry has almost become an expression of love. When I'm concerned, I care. And that's one way of being in the world. And it generally impacts our sleep and therefore our entire health. And it doesn't change anything. All of the work that I do with people is about bringing your energy back to you. So what I'm going to share with you today, it isn't about being detached in the sense of oh, my kid's going through this horrible thing. Oh, well, that's fine. I don't care. Not being worried doesn't mean you don't care. And let's just look at what worry is and does in my perspective, where it comes from, and then how to resolve it. Worry, essentially, again, in my perspective, comes from maybe I've experienced something and I didn't like it and I don't accept it, and actually I'm in rejection of it. And when I see someone else experiencing that, it could be a feeling. Maybe someone's sad, I'm worried about that because I can't be with sadness in my system. It also comes from a lack of self-trust. How does that make sense? When you can feel all of your feelings, when you can be in the entirety of your life, challenges included, and embrace all of it as it is, and I know that's a very big concept, but be open to the possibility that if something is showing up in my experience, I have the capacity to be with that. And yes, support is 100% recommended. It doesn't mean doing everything alone, but I have the resources and the capacity within myself. Therefore, I know this challenge is gonna change me. It's uncomfortable right now and it's for me. And when we can really anchor that in to our own beings, to our own lives, when we see someone else in a struggle, we remove that need to worry about them and see that they're on their own journey, They're on their own path and they have the resources to grow through that challenge. Can I offer support? 100%, especially with our children. We get to sit with them in their challenge, and we get to point them to their own capacity and to their own resources, not from a place of worry, which is, I don't think you can do this. I'm really worried about you, is one form of worry, and there are many. So when we build that self-trust, when we build that belief in ourselves, when we anchor into this idea that my life is happening for me, we can see everyone else through that lens. We can trust our loved ones to be in their experience, to be in their sadness, to be in their challenge, whatever life circumstance they're in. And from that not worried, fully supporting, fully loving state, when you're looking at someone when they're in a challenge and you're seeing them as strong, you're seeing them as internally resourced, and you're seeing them as the truth of who they are in their entirety. I see your sadness and I see your strength. What do you need? Not how can I fix this for you? What do you need? We have more power, we have more to give, we have more influence when we dissolve the worry through that self-trust. It's very difficult to see the strength in others, to see them as a whole being, when we haven't embodied that for ourselves. And we don't need to be there all of the time. But when you've touched it, you've got an anchor point. When something has been lived as an experience in your body, then you have that to give away to others as well. You have the ability to see as they are. Decisions and actions taken from worry create more of that energy. When we can slow down and identify, okay, I'm having a feeling, they're having an experience and I'm having a feeling about that. I'm going to claim my feeling. And instead of worry, I'm going to send love. I'm going to send strength. I'm going to know that they have the capacity to grow through whatever it is they're growing through. And think back to the challenges that you have faced in your life and how they have changed you. One of the most painful experiences in my journey was the ending of my marriage. It broke suddenly from my perspective, and it broke me. And there's no way that the version of me who was in a marriage would have been in front of you with a YouTube channel, with 3 actually, able to support people in the world, to connect people with the essence of who they are, to take actions and build the dreams that they want to build, their life, their way, as an expression of love for their family. I couldn't have done any of that. That wasn't me. I was very small. I didn't matter. And life gave me something. And it broke me. And what I rebuilt from that breaking, it's now one of the most painful moments, has become something that I am so profoundly grateful for. And nobody swooped in to save me. Life pointed me to a coaching course, and then off I went. And that's quite an extreme example. You even think about, going to the gym, the muscle tears in order to rebuild stronger. So these challenges that we face is that, right? It's these little tearing moments. And when we can open to that instead of pushing that away, like I said, when we can embrace all of life as it is and see it as an opportunity. And I get there's some big things out there. I did not see my marriage ending as an opportunity in that moment. And everything that's been birthed from that moment has been phenomenal, and not without moments of pain. So I share that to demonstrate that we don't always understand why it is we're experiencing something. And some things are painful, some things are huge. It's confusing, we're disorientated, we've got no clarity. And when we can learn to sit in that and be with that and feel it all and start to turn in and give ourselves love and compassion, then we find the gift. And what's that got to do with worry? Well, like I said, when we're embodying that, when we're making those choices for ourselves, when we're fully present to our own experience, when we're connected to our heart, then we're modeling that for others, namely our children. And it means when they're going through something, we don't need to swoop in and save them from it. We can let them be in their challenge. And like I said, support 100%, advocate 100%. My children are young still, they're 7 and 9. So of course I'm going to be a voice, and of course I'm going to step in if they need it. But I don't jump in anymore, and I used to. But the more trust that I've built in me, the more resiliency I've built in me, the more I've learned to accept the entirety of me, the more I see it in them. So, to wrap up, when you feel worry, and it's not to say I never feel worry, right? I just know how to meet it now. I had a moment last week where one of my children was going through something, and they didn't actually want me to be present in that situation. They were with their dad, and that was fine, right? And as I left, and my child was upset, I was walking home, and I noticed that feeling, right, initially. And within about 30 seconds, it dissipated. Because his experience is his experience. He's with his dad, right? He's safe. He's supported. He's held. Isn't my job to fix anything. It's my job to know his strength and to know he's on his perfect path to become the fullest, most authentic version of him. When you notice worry, acknowledge it, embrace it, love it, because when we can do that, instead of it being stuck, it can move. And once we've moved out of worry, then for ourselves, new ideas can come in. Perspective widens. Solutions are presented. And for other people, we just hold that possibility for them. I'd love to know what you hear in this for you. I'd love to know if there are any specific challenges that you are facing that you would like to bring into this conversation that I can offer a perspective on. And with that, I'm sending you so much love.